Hello, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So I'm so excited to see all of you today here. Such a nice day. So how's your reading? Did you read your first chapter yesterday? Have you gone through that? So it's always advisable for you to what they call sorry, am I audible?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So the idea is, of course, now we are studying that summary study, and of course, then end of the day, you have to go back and try to read your Bhagavad Gita. All right. So anyway, today is a fantastic day. Today we're going to start with chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita summary study. Of course, a very long chapter, and I have taken the most essential verses, and we try to conclude by 9 p.m. Okay, it has total of 70 over verses, if I'm not mistaken. I think 72 verses, the longest chapter. Okay, the
Yeah, the last
72 chapters. 72 chapter, 72 verses. Okay, so today, okay, let me see. What should I do now? All right. So we have, I can see some new person here, like Kaushika Das Prabhu. Then we can see, okay, there's Linda, right? You're all the way from Russia.
Nadia, hello. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
So,
Prabhu.
so happy to have you here. Hare Krishna. So, okay. So now, today we're going to start our second verse. So let's start the program. Slideshow from the beginning. All right. So ISKCON Ipoh or ISKCON Malaysia proudly presents Gita Gyan, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. All right. So let's take darshan from Sri Radha Madhava deities, Utsava deity, all the way from Mayapur. Such a beautiful form. All right, so let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Let's chant this holy name, which is very auspicious to chant. Let's do it 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so today we dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Age of 69, he left India to the west. He went to the west through the Jaladuta, what they call steamship. And it took him around 40 days to US, and he went there and single-handedly created this movement called the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and he have presented many books translated from the what they call traditional or from all the books, like all the Vedic book from Sanskrit, Bengali. He translated into English, and it's now spread all over the world. All right. So we offer our obeisances and our dedication to him for today's program and seek his causeless mercy. And of course, this program is inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And we also dedicate this program late to my very beloved God brother, late His Grace Hanadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON Sheshadipuram. He is the creator and brainchild of the Essence of Gita program worldwide. All right, so now let's look at the second Mahatmya, or the auspicious. I mean, Mahatmya means auspicious, all right? Or the glories of Gita, spoken by Adi Shankara, okay? Sripad Adi Shankara. Let's look at this. Gita Dhyana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naivi Shanti Hi Papani Purva Janma Kritani Cha. So what it says here, all right? Okay, it's mentioned. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely, okay? If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, all right, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of the past misdeeds will not act upon him. All right. Naivi Shanti. That means Naivi Shanti. That means Shanti means it's a purifying. Shanti, or that means creating peace. Of what? Of all papani. Papani means sinful. What kind of sinful? Like Papa. In Papa, in Sanskrit, we call sin. In Tamil, we call Pavam. All right. Sagala Pavangal. All right. Papa. So, what Papa we are talking about? Purva Janma. Purva Janma means from a previous birth. So, what we can understand from this? If a person simply and sincerely reads Bhagavad Gita very nicely, okay, by the grace of the Lord, what happened? The reaction of his past misdeeds. That means all that karma that he have done all the while will not act upon him. So when you look at this, my dear Prabhus and mothers, what we can contemplate on this? We are all struggling in this condition. We are all enjoying and suffering because of some of the misdeeds that we have done knowingly and unknowingly in our lifetime or even in our previous birth. All right. There's a thing called aprarabdha karma, prarabdha karma, and kutta karma. What does that mean? See, we have passed through this life, okay, for millions of birth. Example, in our life, every time that we see, like for instance, we go to one place or we get a job, we get some experience and we carry that experience with us. All right. Similarly, in all our birth, in all our previous birth, we have accumulated and we have got some kind of experience which we have accumulated. So aprarabdha karma means the karma that means it's like a go down, or in Malay we call it gudang. All right, a big gudang or warehouse of karma we have accumulated. Okay, that is called aprarabdha karma. Then now we have taken birth in this birth. When we take birth here, what happened? There's a portion of karma taken and given to you. Okay, now you go and suffer or enjoy in this particular birth. They call prarabdha karma. Prarabdha, right? So most probably the whatever good things or bad things or whatever things that you are going through, some kind of struggle, some kind of this cannot be like from your previous birth. It can be like few births before, because you are clearing, you are enjoying and suffering from all the consequences of the deeds you have done. All right. So then kutta karma means the currently what you're going to go through. In other words, we can in a layman term, what we can say, kutta karma means your thumb, your what they call your palm. You know, sometimes the palm reader will tell you, okay, now what's going to happen to you. All right. Prarabdha karma means your astrological chart. In this birth, what is the consequences? If you really look at it, when we have taken birth in this place, all right, okay, example, I give you an easy, simple analogy. Now, I mean, now it's not that way, but in those days, they don't keep money in the bank. They keep the money in the locker. They keep it at home, right? So, say like, now I want to go out for shopping. I want to go buy something. So what happened? My father will just take, say, a stack of note, say like $1,000. He just take 1,000, give it to you. Now go and purchase. So that means the safe is called aprarabdha karma. Aprarabdha. That means you got so much of money in there. Now I want to go out and do shopping. So what my dad do, he just take out a stack of money and give it to me. Now keep this money and purchase everything. So that means my purchases or my expenses should be within that whatever note my father gave me. Right? Then I go out and purchase. So during purchases, there will be some mistake in purchases. Maybe I'll buy one vegetable and there'll be vegetable will be spoiled. I buy some fruits and there'll be good fruit and bad fruit. Right? Maybe on the way, I see a beggar begging for money. I take the money and give some beggar. Suddenly, I see some people asking for donation. Or maybe I'm walking, somebody come and snatch my money away. All that consequences called kutta. So this is just a simple analogy. All right. Now, here in this Mahatmya, it's assured that when a person simply reads Bhagavad Gita sincerely, not reading like a novel, just take it sincerely and start to read, study each and every word. What Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna, try to go deep and delve deep into it. When we are doing that, that means there will be, by the grace of the Lord, all the reaction of the past misdeeds will not act upon you. If not these, what are the other means we have? All right, we go for pilgrimage. Say we go to India. All right, we go and take bath in Ganga, Kaveri, Ganga, Yamuna, Sindhu, Kaveri, Narmada, all these kind of holy rivers. And we go and meet some pure devotees or some sadhus. You know, we go and do some ritual. We do fire sacrifice. There is a tedious process just to reduce the effect of your past misdeed. All right, sometimes you know the Navagraha, then the 9 planets. All right, they go to the place called Kumbakonam, South India. Every place there's one temple. So they say you have to go and pacify the whatever the what they call the deities of that particular graha or the planet. Okay, now you have got planet. Okay, Rahu is sitting in a wrong place. You go to the place and start to pacify Rahu. All right. Anyone who have been there before? Anyone have been there before? Especially the Rahu place. It's quite amazing.
Yes, Prabhu.
You have been there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Did you see that when they pour the milk on Rahu,
Yeah,
the thing comes white and below the waist all turn blue, right?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
It's so poisonous. It's a kind of miracle. So we have so much of tedious process to get rid of all our reaction so that we can live peacefully at this current moment. But that takes lots of effort. It takes a lot of money, visa, flight. You go there, like sometimes like we like, for instance, we are born and bred in Malaysia or like any other countries outside India. We go there, maybe we can't tolerate the thing, you know, people keep honking, you know, certain things we can't tolerate. And go there when we see Ganga, you're so dirty, that's aparat, that's offense. You can't even do that kind of offense there. You cannot go there and criticize anything. When beggar come and ask you, why people keep asking money? Crazy people, it's all aparat, offense. So you go there not to gain some merit, but you go there, create more sin. So sometimes it's not recommended. It's very dangerous. You must be very careful when you go for pilgrimage. So in order to avoid all that consequences, simply don't take risk. Just simply read Bhagavad Gita. That is thing assured. And this is not said by anyone else, but spoken by Adi Shankara himself. Sripad Adi Shankara himself. He says, simply read your Bhagavad Gita, and by the grace of the Lord, all your past karma will not act upon you. If any one of you, or if you know anyone out there who are suffering a terrible consequences, they're not having a peace of life, whatever things they do, they only end up in suffering. We understand that that person is suffering from the consequences of previous birth karma or previous karma. So in order to help him, just give them a Bhagavad Gita and tell them, read this Gita very thoroughly and very sincerely. All right. That is something an advantage. So now let's look at this, the introduction of this Bhagavad Gita. All right. Now let's say Bhagavad Gita is understood by the person, all right, who has qualities similar to Arjuna. Now we are talking about, we need to study Bhagavad Gita. So what is that quality that we must acquire in order to understand the Gita? So it is best understood by the person who has qualities similar to Arjuna. All right. That is to say that he must be a devotee in direct relationship. He has to become a devotee in direct relationship. All right. So that is the qualification of of understanding. All right. You must have a direct relationship with the Lord. So as soon one becomes devotee of the Lord, he also has a direct relationship with the Lord. All right. Of course, this is a very elaborate subject matter, and there's 2 places that's spoken about this very nicely in this Bhagavad Gita. All right, like the verse man mana ba mad bhakto madhya. Okay, anyway, we don't go to that now. We will see that as we go on. But now, briefly, it can be stated that a devotee is in the relationship with the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in any of these 5 different ways. All right. So you can be a devotee in any of these 5 different ways. Number one may be a devotee in a passive state. That means you are a devotee, but you are not actively involved. Secondly, you can be a devotee in active state. That means you are going around encouraging people. Now you read Bhagavad Gita, go and propagate. Now you're actively involved. Second can be a devotee as a friend. And the third person can be devotee as a parent. sometimes they say that Krishna is a baby Krishna. You can act like a parent, or you also can be a devotee as a conjugal lover. Conjugal lover means you love Krishna so much. Like we see sometimes some young girls will be worshipping Krishna like a boyfriend, that kind of relationship. But a person has to be in any of these 5 relationship with the Lord. All right. So that is the way of this thing. Okay, now. So today we're going to start chapter 2, or the contents of Gita summarized. So in this chapter, what we're going to learn? All the elaboration. Chapter 2 is the one that is a summary. And this chapter 2 will be elaborated in the next 16 chapters. Right? Okay, let's look at this. Okay, now let's go back to the yesterday's recap. What happened? Arjuna, after seeing the reality of life, where he has to fight against his family members, all right, he understood that these people, like sometimes we can somehow or other lose to a stranger. All right, when a stranger challenges you, you can lose to the stranger. But when it comes to relatives, we try not to lose to them because we lose face, right? Because how can I lose myself to the relatives? So that's where, therefore, Arjuna really knows. He knew perfectly that all these warriors, or who is cousins, uncles, relatives, friends, buddies, nephews, all of them are standing there. They are prepared to die, then surrender. So the consequences of them getting killed is there. Okay, it's very assured. None of them going to show some white flag of truce. Hey, chop, okay, I resign, retire. Okay. No, I surrender, let me go. There will be no possibility of that. So when Arjuna saw all this, he was shaken. He was so frustrated. He was so sad. What are the symptoms we saw? The mouth drying up, the muscles were quivering, the body trembling, the Gandiva bow falling down. All right. So that's the thing. Now he had a long lamentation in chapter 1, and now starting chapter 2. Chapter 2 spoken by Sanjaya. Sanjaya, who is who? Sanjaya is Dhritarashtra's prime minister, who have that vision. He's narrating the story. So after all these things, now he's telling Dhritarashtra. He's telling the blind king. He said, Mam tata kripaya vishtam ashru purna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. So what he says? Sanjaya said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion. But that means what? Arjuna felt so bad because he's a great warrior. Why compassion, Samo? They are dying for my sake so that I can enjoy the kingdom. Right? So what happened? His mind depressed. First, Arjuna was full of compassion. His mind depressed. His eyes full of tears. In other words, Arjuna basically crying. He was crying. If it's just a slight tear, he's tearing. But he's full of tear means what? He's really crying his heart out. All right? Then Madhusudana, or another name for Krishna, spoke the following words. Now Krishna start to speak in Bhagavad Gita. All right? 2.2, chapter 2, text 2, Bhagavad Gita. It says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastvam Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtam Ashvargyam Akirti Karam Arjuna. The word that we should consider is Kashmalam. Right? In Tamil, Kashmalam is something like a kind of, they say it's a kind of nasty word. It's not a bad word, but it's a kind of, what they call, low standard word. Right? Hey, Kasmalo. Sometimes they say, hey, Kasmalo. Actually, the Kashmalam is what? It's a Sanskrit word, right? It's a very old word. So, Bhagavan Uvacha, that means Lord says, Kutastva Kashmalam idam. Vishame samupastitam, anarya jushtam ashvargyam, akirti karam Arjuna. So now Arjuna was like, what they call, Krishna was asking, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, all right? Okay, why they always use the word Supreme Personality of Godhead? That's the translation of Bhagavan. Okay, what is Bhagavan? We will also discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. All right, now, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead says, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities, what is impurities? The impurities is called kashmalam, dirty, right? So, so this, so how did these impurities came upon you? You know, so imagine at that time, Krishna was like speaking in such a way that like a kind of surprise. How did these impurities came upon you, my Arjuna? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. Okay, this doesn't suit a person who knows the value of life, because you are a Kshatriya. It's your duty to fight. It's just like, say, I'm a Bengali born devotee, a Bengali born Indian soldier, and suddenly the war declared against Bangladesh, and the part of Bangladesh, my relations are there, and now I'm representing Indian army enter into Bangladesh, and I say I don't want to fight. Why? Because my relatives are here. It doesn't work that way. Once you are called upon, you have to go and discard your duty, discharge your duty. So now it says what? So it doesn't befit a man who knows the value of life. And this idea will lead not to higher planet, but to infamy. So this kind of thoughts is not going to help you. All right? It's not going to help you. It's only going to put you down further. All right? You're not going to get yourself cleared from any of these, because he said he wants to go in for the forest and jungle and meditate and all these things, so he can go to the heavenly kingdom. It's not going to take you there. It's only going to bring you down to infamy. All right. So now from 2.2 we are jumping to 2.6. All right. Then after that, Krishna will be asking few questions. Now 2.6. Now Arjuna start to speak. What did Arjuna say? Na chaita Arjuna vacha. Nai chaitat vitma kataranno gariyo. Sorry. Na chaitat vitma kataranno gariyo. Yatva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Yan eva hatva na jiji vishamas. Teva stita pramuke dartarastraha. He says. So what is this? What is the word that we can see? Na chaitat. No. Vitma kataran na gariyo. Na, but so then he says, na jayeyu. Not victorious. All right. So na jijishmama. That means he said all no. So what does this say? He says, Arjuna said, nor do we know which is better. All right. Because Arjuna is telling Krishna, no, we know which is better. I don't know which is better. Conquer them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet, they are now standing before us on the battlefield. So what does that mean? So Arjuna couldn't make a decision. Which is which? Is it to be conquered or to conquer them? I don't know which is better. But one thing, let me tell you. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, which is his own cousins, if we kill them all, we should not care to live. We should not care to live. All right. So we should not care to live. But look at that. They are all standing right in front of us on the battlefield. So what he's trying to tell? I have that feeling for my cousins, but they don't. All right. So I rather throw everything and go to the forest and be a mendicant. All right. So he couldn't make a decision. He don't know what to do. Right. So now let's look at Arjuna's reason for not fighting. A recap from last chapter. What is a recap? Number one, in 1.28 and 30, chapter 1, text 20 to text 30, we studied about compassion for friends and relatives. Chapter 31, text 31 to 35, we spoke on no enjoyment even if victorious. 36 to 38, we saw fear of sinful reaction. And 1.39 to 43, destruction of family tradition. And now at 2.6, chapter 2, text 6, we understand indecision. So Arjuna couldn't make a decision. So then what he did, if he couldn't make a decision, what is the nice thing to do? All right. Say like, for instance, he did the right thing. Sometimes when we are frustrated, when we are at the end of the road, end of the tunnel, we are stuck. We are under severe anxiety, severe stress, depressed. I couldn't make any decision. What usually we will do? We will see the person beside us, say like your best friend or good friend, and says, look here, I surrender to you. You tell me what to do now. My mind is blocked. I don't know what to do now. I don't know what decision to make. I can't think straight. So, my dear friend, can you tell me the same incident happened in 2.7? What he says, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha prachami tvang dharma samuda chetaha yachreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaste ham shadi mam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosam, so much of kripa. I'm confused. All right. Then after that, he says this word, Nishchitam. Ye Shriya Shan Nishchitam Bruhi. Nishchitam means what? Nichiyamaga. In Tamil, we call Nichiyam. That means, tell me decisively. Tell me decisively what I should do. Because then after that, Shishyas Teham. Shishyas Teham. Shishyas means what? Disciple. Aham. Me. I become your disciple. Under Shaditam Prapannam. I surrender unto you. You tell me. So the translation is like this. Now I'm confused about my duty. All right. I'm very confused about my duty. And I've lost all composure. That means he lost all his reasoning power. He have lost everything. Yes. Paramampang. Okay. Okay. So now he have lost all composure and he couldn't make any decision. Why? Because of miserly weaknesses. Karpanya. Kripa. They call Kripa or Karpanya. It means because of miserly weaknesses. All right. He is in a miserable, and it's because of this weakness. And now he said, in this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain. That means what? Nischiyamaga, Nichiyam, Nischitam. Tell me for certain. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me for certain what I should do now. Because we must understand, they are in the mid of warfare. They have no time. They don't have a grace of time to speak around, speak philosophy, speak these kind of things. It's because they are in the war. All right. And during the war, and people are there standing, and these people are standing all fuming with anger. Any small trigger, that's it. So now, at this moment of urgency, emergency, when both sides are ready, fuming with anger and about to fight, all the arrow, everything is ready. It's just a matter of press the button, fire. The things will go off. At that moment, he says, Nischiyama. That means, tell me, Nischitam, tell me for certain. Tell me for certain. What is best for me? What is best for me? Please tell me. Then, now I am your disciple, and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So now what Arjuna is asking, he is asking for an instruction. He is not asking for a suggestion. He is not asking for an opinion. All right? He is not asking for a suggestion. He is not asking for opinion. He is telling, give me that instruction. What is instruction means? If I say turn left, that's it, turn left. Opinion means, I think left is better. All right? Suggestion means, people are all doing it, but anyway, if you ask I think should be left, should be better. He's not asking that. He said, give me instruction. So, who will take instruction? In army, when the captain speaks and all the soldiers listen, that is instruction. There's no turning back. When the army captain, general says this, you just do it. Similarly, this next incident that you can see this kind of situation, when a spiritual master speaks. The spiritual master don't give you suggestion, don't give his opinion. He gives instruction. All right. So the instruction, so he said, then he asks, I surrender unto you as a disciple. And now that means, in other words, Arjuna is taking Krishna as a spiritual master and he's asking for instruction. Right. Now in 2:11, chapter 2, text 11, see what he says. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Now Bhagavan start to speak. Ashochan anvashoschatvam pranyavadangscha bhashashe gatasun agatashungscha nanushochanti panditaha. Nice. Arjuna, Krishna start to chastising him. Chastising means what? Scolding him. What it says? Nanushochanti panditaha. Panditanana Pandidar. In Tamil, we call Panditan. Educated, knowledgeable. See what he says. The Supreme Personality of God, it said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. He says what? While speaking some learned words. You are speaking like a learned words. But you are mourning. Mourn, M-O-U-R-N. When we mourn, when we see people die, we mourn. You are mourn for something which is not worthy of grief. You are mourn for something which is useless. Grief. Then after that he says, those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. This is very, very important statement that we should always remember. All right. Let me just remove all this. I'll just highlight. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Use what color? Okay, use green. All right. So he says, all right, those who are wise, what is wise means? Is it your material qualification, your material education? No. Wise means the one really understood the Vedas. Here mentioning to those who are wise. What they do? They lament neither. That means they lament neither for the living nor for the dead. All right. So there's no lamentation. Sometimes in life, that is our biggest lamentation. Somehow or other, everyone has to go through some kind of a situation, environment, and the death can cause the biggest lamentation in our life. Sometimes when people come to me, they can't accept the fact that the person has passed away. All right. But here Krishna says very simple. All right. He says, those who are wise, those who are intelligent people, they do not lament for the living or they don't lament for the dead. How is that possible? Right? I mean, then after that, now Krishna going to give a elaboration. So he said, what does that mean? Okay, now you're going to explain about this thing. Then after that, he continues in 12. Let me see, he says, the educated people, the knowledgeable people, the wise is do not lament for the dead and do not lament for the living. Then he says, Natvevaham jatu nasham. So, Natveva, okay. Natvevaham jatu nasham. Natvam neme janadipaha. Nachaiva na bhavishyama. Sarve vayam ataparam. Natvevaham jatu nasham. Natvam neme janadipa. Nachaiva na bhavishyama. Sarvavayam ataparam. And Krishna continues. Never was there a time that I did not exist. Nor you, nor all these kings. Nor in the future shall any one of us cease to be. All right. Jatu means birth. Nasha means destroy. That means it doesn't work that way. So Krishna is actually, first he said, you are intelligent people, don't lament for the dead or living. And now he says, there was not a time that you did not exist and I did not exist. And also all the kings in front of you, there was not a time they did not exist. Or in the future, there won't be any situation that they will not exist. How to understand this verse here? So it says, we are all been living eternally in this condition. We have fallen into this material condition of a material world. All right. Where we fall from some spiritual realm. Now we are here, we are going through birth after birth. So these kings in front of you, they were existing all the while. In the future, they will go on existing. All right. Now all will go on existing. There's not a time they never existed, and there'll be no time that they will not exist. Okay. Are you all following me on this? These are very important. Right? If you're following me, just put a thumbs up so I understand that I can know that you all are following me. Everyone following me? Any questions so far? All right. Okay. Or you also can send a message. Can repeat. Okay. Which one to repeat? Which one you're asking? You mean this phrase here? Okay. T-H-Y-E-S, thighs. Oh, this, okay. Okay, this, all right. Never mind. Again, let me tell you, there was not a time we did not exist. In other words, we were in, we lived before. Then we died. And now we are living. Sooner or later, we're going to die. Then after we die, we're going to go on living. We're going to take the next birth. We're going to go on living. All right. There was not a time that we are not going to disappear. Are you following me? Suri, right? Your name is Suri. Suri is the one asking the question. Are you following me, Suri? Okay. You got the idea? Or you need more explanation? Okay. So, in other words, I was living before. All right. So, for instance, okay, got it. Okay, get it. Okay, got it. Then, okay. So, in other words, Krishna is telling you and I, that means Krishna and Arjuna, there was not a time we did not exist. That's why I say there was not a time I did not exist. When I did not exist. That means I have been existing from the day one. So do you. You also exist. So do all the kings. Right? And in the future, they also will go on existing. That means they're going to take the next birth, they're just going to go on. Nothing is going to happen. And what does that mean? Then after that, now he's coming. He's explaining the most important verse in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, text 13. Starting, now is the serious discussion starting. What he says, Dehinosmin yata dehe, kaumarang yauvanam jara, tata dehantara praptir, dhiras tatra na muhyanti. Right? As the embodied soul. All right? Now, these are a few of the things that are quite interesting that we should really look into, pay attention. What color I should use? Okay, still maintain. Right, okay, material. All right. So he says, as the embodied soul continuously passing in this body. How? Kaumaram. Kaumaram means what? From boyhood. Yauvanam, from the youth and to old age. Jara. Jara means old age. All right, Jara. So tata dehantara. Deha means our body, deha. In Tamil also we call dehangal, deha. Deha means body. So tata dehantara praptir. So that means the soul similarly passes into another body at the time of death. Then he says dhira. Dhira means what? The sober one. Dhira means the one who was sober. So he says a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. So what we can understand from this is a very important thing. Once upon a time, we were like this. All right. Okay, you can see the photo. I'm just putting a mark there. Okay, I put it here. I think this is much clearer. All right. Once upon a time, we were like this. We were a baby. And somehow or other, we came to this level. Then we became a youth. All right. And somehow now, some will now start to show some kind of dwindling. The body start to dwindle. All right. So then eventually, this is the fact of life that every one of us is going to go through. We call it as death. The day that we're born, where are we going? We are marching towards the final end, which is guaranteed in life, death. We are walking towards that. So now it says what? But even though that we are passing from a boyhood, from a baby, from a childhood, from baby, we are growing and going, moving on. Say like for instance, okay, I'll give you a good example. When say you start to have some kind of gathering, right? When my late father was having a gathering with his friend, ACS school, class 60s or something like that, class of 1960s, right? He had all his gathering. You know, being my father, very decent guy, very strict, you know, he doesn't talk nonsense. You know, he always keep his cool, you know, I'm not sure what he's doing, but to us, right? But then when he went for that gathering, he straightaway transformed into his Form 5. He straightaway transformed his teenagehood. And some of the guys, his friends, are grandfather. They are such a respectable person. They are millionaires. They are business. All the people came to that gathering, all turned into child. all turn into teenage. You know, the teenagers, how they like to make fun each other. They laugh, they talk nonsense, they poke here and there, the stomach, they poke. Hey, you still have the sensation of poke, poke, poke. Last time you poke here, you start to jump. Now, no more. They start to talk like a child. But the body has turned into 65-year-old. Right? So what happened? The body has changed, but the feeling is still strong. Like sometimes, like this year is going to be my 20th year married. I was thinking, I feel I still haven't digested of that excitement of getting married. I still feel the marriage thought is still clear in my mind, but it's already 20 years. I just feel my child just born and today she's 18. All right, things are running, but our mind still couldn't digest. That means we're still there. That means what happened? Our body is changing very fast. From here, it's moving up very, 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 very quickly. Right? So he says what? But no worries. But after the death happens, what happened? The body will go back and start all over again in a new body. So this is what they call the transmigration. It's going around and around and around and around and around and around in this material condition. The another word that we should look into is embodied. What does that embodied soul means? Right? What does it mean embodied? That means we are bodied. That means we are a spiritual spark kept inside a material body. Okay, example, now you look at this parrot here. The parrot, it is supposed to be a free bird, but the parrot is encaged in the cage. All right? A free parrot was kept in a cage. Similarly, a spirit soul, we are the spirit soul, but we are encaged in this material condition body made of 5 elements. All right? So what, a total of 23 elements. Okay, that we will discuss in our following chapter. It's going to be very interesting. You will be shocked. Hey, do I have all the while we thought, I got only 5 Panjabhuta, water, ether, that's all. But there are 20 plus 3. All right, we will discuss as we go on. All right, so far so good. Okay, I hope everyone get it. If you don't get it, please immediately raise your hand. You can ask a question or you can just send a message. You can send a WhatsApp. I mean, WhatsApp. You can put in the chat. All right. So I assume that everyone get it. Okay. Now, after that, Krishna continues. Okay, from 13, then he further explains, then he comes to this. Avinashitu yat viddi yena sarvam idang tatam vinasham an avyayas yasya na kaschit kartum arhati. Krishna starts speaking. All right. Okay, got it. Thanks. All right. Avinashitu tat viddi yena sarvam idang tatam vinasham avyayas yasya na kaschit kartum arhati. So what is mentioned, what Krishna is saying here? He said, that which pervades, the thing that pervades the entire body, you should know to be the indestructible and no one able to destroy the imperishable soul. All right? How is that possible? What does this mean? The thing that which pervades the entire body, right? The thing that pervades the entire body. Say like when the sun shines, when the sun rises in the morning, the shine pervades the entire country. All the darkness will disappear because it's all pervading. It's spread everywhere. Similarly, the imperishable soul stays in your heart here, stays here, and what he does? He pervades your entire body. All right. So that means that's what it meant here. All right. It meant that the one, that which pervades the entire body. Okay. The pervades the entire body. That means it makes the entire system start running in your body. All right. It should be known as indestructible. What does that mean? Indestructible. All right. So first thing that we should understand, the soul is indestructible. That means no way you can destroy the soul. And again, he said, no one can destroy it. It cannot be destroyed, and no one can destroy it. And what do they call it? Imperishable. The thing that doesn't perish, doesn't distinct. Can I say that similar to energy, it can't be destroyed, only transformed? Yes. No, energy is different. All right? Energy is different because soul doesn't transform. We will discuss that in the following verse. All right? So it is not energy. See, like for instance, energy is something like it can be created. Okay, like for instance, when I take this hand and I start to shake, okay, the heat energy comes out. All right? Certain things that can be, but this imperishable, that means there's no, it's not created. Okay, example. Okay, since you asked the question, now let's move into the next one. All right? What he says. All right? So now let's look at the next verse. Text 22. Vasangsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grinati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. So what does that mean? In this verse, Krishna is telling a person puts on new garment. Okay, but before we go to the soul, now we are talking about how the body transforms. All right. So what analogy Krishna gives? As a person puts on a new garment, the way that we puts on a new garment. When you put a new garment, what we do? We give up the old one. Okay, we give up the old one. The soul similarly accepts new material body. And here the word is. That means material bodies. That means there's varieties of material bodies. How? By giving up the old and useless ones. So a person like puts on a new garment and giving up the old garment. Similarly, the soul accepts a new material body by giving up the old and useless one. So the transaction of giving up the old and useless one, we call it as death. The process of changing, of taking up a new one by giving up the old one, the process is called as death. When we give up our old house and going to a new house, what we are doing, we are called as moving out. When we leave this country, we go to other country, migrate, we call migrating. So that means you have to discard something to accept something. Similarly, the process of giving up the old useless body with full of disease, full of conditioning, we give up that and we're going to accept a brand new body that is called death. But at the same time, the word that we should really pay attention is this, bodies. What does that mean, bodies? That means we are not only migrating from these, okay? That means it's not only that we are moving into this thing and coming to the death and taking up a new body. It's not only that way it happens. Sometimes if we are unlucky, we can also fall into this abominable species of life. All right? We can also fall down to abominable species of life. We can be born as a pig. We can take birth as a dog, a horse, even the worm in the stool, or even cockroach. All these kind of things. There are total 8.4 million species. All right. And what is those? We will study as we go on. Because this is a kind of the reality, right? We think, oh, I die, I go to heaven. Like sometimes they say, oh, people got 7 births. Sometimes, some speculators will say, oh, we got 7 births. They saw the Jadagam, they saw the astrologer, oh, this flow is finished. The 7th birth is gone. He's going to heaven. It doesn't work that way. That's why we must always refer to authoritative statement. We cannot simply listen to hearsay. Some guy will talk something. No, it's not an opinion. This is the reality. This is a serious matter. Because this is talking about your decision. Can you just, after you do well in your STPM, or you do very well in this thing, you whimsically choose a college? All right, I would like to do medical degree. All right, so I just choose one college in Bangladesh. Or I want to do medical degree. I simply choose one college where in one country, which is never heard of. All right, as long I become a doctor. So I whimsically simply go to join one unknown college. No, you cannot do that. You come back, then the government says, oh, your college is not recognized. So we don't recognize your degree. But of course, there also people teach you how to save life. But recognition is there. The authority is there. Right? So like that. So we have to know. So that's the thing. So sometimes it doesn't work that, oh, we finish this birth and next birth we're going to, right? Question. So there is one soul and many bodies out there. All right. Very good question, Mataji. Linda, you asked a very nice question. There is only soul. When you say one soul means what? Okay, now let's discuss this, all right? You asked a very nice question. Okay, now, Linda, just say that, okay, let's look into this picture here. All right, look into this picture here. All right. So now, when I say one soul means what? Let's say when this person here, he says, he asked that question, is there one soul in many bodies? That means he is identifying himself as the body who has a soul. Sometimes we say, right? Oh, my soul, I feel very happy. You know? What is the usual term they say? Yeah? Make sure your soul, I mean, sometimes they say, right? Are you sure you're talking the right thing? Oh, your soul, my soul. No, sometimes they say your soul, my soul. The thing that we should understand is, okay, I am the soul. I am the soul. And I am living in this material body. The material body is a conditioning. What is that conditioning? I am born in an Indian family in Malaysia, living in Ipoh, you know, and this is my wife, and this is my children, this is my job, this is my identity. That all this identification is all bodily identification. But you remain as it is as a soul. So your second question that you asked, that there's one soul and many bodies. Yes, you are that one soul. That means you are the person. You accept many bodies. You got it? All right. Okay, great. Nice. See, the more question you ask, the more you learn. It's very interesting because sometimes I don't know the way I'm telling, you know, is it I'm going too fast or I'm going too slow? So your questions, very interesting. Nice questions, right? Now we understand. So a person simply put on the new garments, giving up the old one. The soul similarly passed to the new body after giving up the old and useless body, right? Now let's look at the explanation about the soul, all right? So it says here in verse 2.23, chapter 2, text 23, the verse says, the soul can never be cut to pieces. Okay, the soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. Okay, nor burnt by fire, nor excuse me, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. Okay, and 24, it says, this individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, is unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. It is said, the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, Krishna says, you should not grieve for the body. So what does this mean? Okay, now let's go in. Let's go through one by one. All right. The first thing he says, Krishna says, the soul can never be cut to pieces. Okay. You can't cut the soul into small, small pieces by any kind of weapon. Secondly, the soul cannot be burnt by fire. Then it cannot be moistened by water. It doesn't get moist. And thirdly, it cannot be withered by wind or wind dry, like Karuvadi, right? Cannot be withered by wind. Then after that, he says, this individual soul, this is very important. What does this mean? In Bhagavad Gita, anything that we understand, we are all individual personality. Okay, listen to this very carefully. You are individual, authentic person. No one like you existed before. And no one will like you will exist in the future. You got it? The way that you look, no one was like you before. And in the future, no one going to look like you in the future. You are authentic. You are given a thumbprint which never existed before and will not exist in the future. Your thumbprint, your cornea, your choreograph, right? Your DNA. No, DNA, they say almost there, they find out. But it cannot be 100%. All right? Like my father-in-law, identical twins. Both look alike. So much alike. But there is a difference. One father-in-law, he got a kind of a cheeky voice. Even they are identical, they are not same. That's it. So what we can understand from here, the individual soul means that you and I are individual soul and we are authentic. We are authentic. We remain individual here and we will go on remain individual in the future. All right? We can never merge into something and become nothing by joining into something. Like sometimes they say, oh, I have this, I see the light, I merge into the light. It doesn't work that way, right? It is speculation. You cannot merge into something because you are an individual living entity, right? So individual soul. Okay, this individuality we're going to discuss as we go on in Bhagavad Gita. It's another important topic, right? So individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting. That means what? You are eternal. So in other words, Linda, you are an eternal living entity. You live forever. The death that can come to you, it is only changing of your body. It's changing of your dress. But you as a person will go on living forever. And it present everywhere. What does that mean, present everywhere? Right? So when you look at present everywhere, okay, like Mr. Param, you present everywhere that means you will go on existing in everywhere in this universe. In this, okay, internet not stable. Hello? Did I break just now? Am I clear?
Yes, clear.
Yes, Prabhu. Continue, Prabhu.
All right, okay. So now they're saying that it's everlasting and present everywhere means you present everywhere in this universe, right? You don't have a geographical restriction. In this condition, yes, I am a Malaysian living in Malaysia. That's my restriction. Even if I want to go to India, I need to have a passport. That's a restriction, all right? But as a soul, you exist everywhere. And you don't change. Change means what? That means you remain as a spirit spark. You are immovable. You cannot be moved into something else. And the last thing is you are eternally the same. All right. It is said also the soul is invisible. Why the soul is invisible? All right. When you see down there, all right. What is the size of the soul according to the Shastra? The size of the soul, you take the tip of your hair, you divide it into 10,000 pieces. You slice it into 10,000. That is the size of the soul. Not the one. You take a tip of your hair, you slice it to 10,000. That is the size of the soul. So that soul is invisible to our naked eyes, cannot be seen. When you look at coronavirus, the virus is a living entity. Whenever there's a soul, there is intelligence. The coronavirus, even the viruses know how to act and act differently, right? When you look at the cell, cancer cell in our body, it's just like the cell who became a terrorist, right? And it knows how to, even the chemo, or after you put that radiography, chemo and everything, still the thing can go on spreading, can go on terrorizing, conquering other good cells, right? So that means all these living entities, they are all called as living entities. As small as a virus, bacteria, and as a huge as like an elephant, all of them have the same invisible, inconceivable, immutable soul, right? It can go into that, right? So it is inconceivable means it cannot be understood, right? And it's immutable. The soul cannot keep quiet. As long as a person is alive, the presence of the soul, the person will act. The person will stop acting when the person dies, when the soul leaves the body. So then Krishna is telling, you should not grieve for the body. So don't cry for the body, right? Don't worry. You are just killing the body only. You cannot kill the soul. You cannot kill them. You're only killing the body. Don't worry, right? So that's a thing that we understand from here, right? Okay. Hare Krishna, we are having painful, okay, now. One soul, many distinct. Jai Sri Ganesh. Hare Krishna Prabhu, why we having painful birth and death? Why we having painful birth and death? All right, that we will discuss in the future as we go on. I think in chapter 6 or chapter 7, all right? That's we will discuss that, all right? Sir, will this cycle of birth and rebirth continue forever? Very intelligent question, Surit. You have asked a very intelligent question. Perhaps I understood wrongly, as I understood that each cycle of rebirth is meant to reduce the karma of previous birth until all karma is answered for. All right? Very nice. Very nice question. Okay, now, Surit, let's look at this. All right? Where are you from, Surit? Can you just unmute and we just have a short discussion?
Yeah, sorry. Just now my mic was having some problem.
Oh, okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Johor Bahru.
Johor Bahru.
Yeah.
And where do you work?
Sorry?
Where do you work? Do you work in Singapore?
No, I work in Johor Bahru here.
Okay, Johor Bahru itself. All right, now.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, if you get a chance to work in overseas, say you go to if you get a chance to work in overseas, will you take that offer?
I did have a chance to work in Singapore for a while, but then I was not very keen. I mean, I tried, I didn't like it, so I came back to Malaysia.
Right. Okay. You went to Singapore, you didn't like it. What happened if you get a job in America or any other European country? Will you consider?
At the moment, probably not because I have like my mom and son to take care here. So yeah.
Say that everything is conducive. Will you take it?
Yeah, probably I will.
Probably, all right. So when you go overseas to get a job and do this, you're going to a new place. Are you increasing your experience or are you decreasing your experience?
I'm increasing my experience.
Yes.
It's a new horizon.
Similarly, when you take a rebirth, when you take a new birth, you're only increasing your experience. You're not burning your karma. You're increasing your karma.
Oh, I see.
All right?
Mhm.
All right. How old are you, Suri?
I'm 40.
40. All right. So say for instance, for first to 10, you had one particular experience. Then 11 to 20, you had a different experience. Then you went into college and everything, you had a different experience. And now you're 30, you're 40, you're having different experience. And all the experience that you had in your life, you're going to navigate from 40 onwards. Yes?
Yes, correct.
So in life, you're going to gain more and more experience. So that is what they call a new birth. Every time we take a new birth, we get a new identity, we get a new experience, and we only accumulate it. We are not going to discard it.
Okay.
So new birth to clear our karma, actually that's not according to the Shastra. Okay?
Yeah, understood.
Okay, nice. Thank you. All right. So now let's go to the next one. So now at 27 and 28, see what Krishna says. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvang janma mrityasya cha tasmat api apariharye ratena tvang shochitam arhasi avyaktadini bhutani vyakta madhyani bharata avyakta nidananyeva tatraka paridevana. So in this verse, see what Krishna says. He says, one who has taken his birth, okay, one who has taken his birth is sure to die. That is the fact of life. Sometimes we don't believe in it. And after death, one is sure to take birth again. So now Krishna says, therefore, in this unavoidable discharge of your duty, in this unavoidable discharge means in this time that you should perform your duty as a Kshatriya to fight the war, you cannot avoid this situation. So Krishna suggests you should not lament. Do not lament. Lamentation is the worst kind of disease that creates anxiety that eventually goes into severe depression, All start with lamentation, right? Lamentation. What is lamentation happens? High expectation. So now Krishna is saying, when there's a person that taken birth is sure to die, so why are you lamenting? Right? You do not lament. Then Krishna continues, all created beings means what? Everything that is created around us will be formally unmanifested in the beginning, right? In the beginning, it doesn't exist. Like the house I'm staying in, formally, the house never existed. Then, after that, it starts to manifest in the interim state. In between, they cleared the jungle and they built the house. All right? Then after that, what Krishna says, But it will unmanifest again when he's annihilated. In the future, I don't know, maybe 100, 200, 300 years down the road, maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe a day will come, they will destroy the house and build something else. Will happen. So it will unmanifest again when annihilated. Okay, so every living being have these three things. First is unmanifested. So when we were first unmanifested, all right, when we were in the womb of our mother, we did not exist. Then we born into this material world, we existed for a short period of time, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, right? That's all. Then after that, in between, then a day will come, we will give up this body, our body will be burnt, buried or thrown to the vulture. Like the Persian culture, the Persians, Persia, you know what they call, what is the thing? What religion is this? Astro something, right? Like Tata, you know that Tata, the flow found passed away. They are from that family. They are in that religion. Zoroastrian, yes. What they do? Or Jain, they'll throw the body to the vulture. All right, it doesn't matter. But when the thing annihilated, everything will unmanifest again. So this is the thing. Then after that, Krishna says, what need there to lament? Why do you need to have that lamentation? There's nothing to be lament all about. All right? Okay. Now, okay, this is very straightforward. If you have any question, you can just put it in the group. All right, 31. In 31, what Krishna says? Swadharmang api chavekshya nivikampitum arhasi dharmyat adi yudakshreyo nyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. He says, considering your specific duty as Kshatriya. So Kshatriya means a warrior. So they are always looking forward for a war. If not, their life will be boring. They don't know how to do farming. They don't know how to do business. Their job is to protect, always brave heart. Right? Is this picture of previous slide showing position of soul in the body? Is this picture in previous slide? Which one, Mataji? Which one you're talking about? This one?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, yes. No, the previous slide.
Or this one? This is a new slide.
Previous slide.
This is a new slide, okay? So what is the question? What
The
is it? It's
previous
small.
slide.
Oh my God, my internet still not stable suddenly.
Sorry, I'm still seeing
Yes.
2.31. I'm not sure whether
Yeah, we are in 2.31. Yeah, we are now
no,
in 2.31.
the previous
Just now
slide.
we were in 27 and 30. Just now we were here. Okay, this is the
Not
previous slide.
this
Oh,
one.
you have
Yeah.
your slide not moved yet.
No, I'm referring, my question is
Now it is a
referring
new
to this
slide.
one. My question is referring to the previous
Okay.
one.
Okay, so what's the question?
The picture in
Is
the previous slide,
okay.
not this slide, Prabhuji.
Okay, this slide.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's the picture like the soul is that the soul location in our body?
Oh, you're asking the soul. Look, yes, it's in the heart.
Okay.
Okay, where is in the heart means it's not exactly in the heart. It is in the core of the place within the heart, and your distinct it's called prana. There's a kind of air that suspension within it. Because sometimes they ask, if I do heart transplant, will I go to the new body? All right, it's not exactly that. The location of that atma is in the heart. Sometimes that's why whenever we talk like this, we point this way. You're talking to me. Why? Because here, basically the place that you live in. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, I hope you got it. Now, okay, Mataji. So considering your specific duty of Kshatriya means a warrior. You should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principle. All right? So you are a soldier. You should fight on religious principle, not simply fight. And there is no need for hesitation. So Krishna is telling there's no need for hesitate. Don't hesitate. Because it's your job. Right? Now let's look at this. Refuting that. Okay, now, what is in 237? He says, "O son of Kunti." Okay, Kunti means the Arjuna's mother's name is Kunti. So sometimes Arjuna will be called as the son of Kunti. Why they used to son of Kunti? To be specifically mentioning, yes. Right? "O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planet." Why? Can anyone tell me what does it mean by heavenly planet? because they are fighting in Kurukshetra. All right? If you die there, you go to heavenly planet. He said either you will be killed in battlefield and attain the heavenly planet, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up and with determination and fight. Say, get up and with determination and fight. So that means what? If he fights, if he wins the war, all right? If he win, he will. If he wins, he go to the earthly kingdom. He get the king. Right? He get the kingdom. If he doesn't make it, he dies, he go to heavenly planet. But if he doesn't fight, he goes in infamy. People start to call him as coward. Right? Okay. So that's the thing. So now we should ask ourselves. So after seeing all these things that we learned about the soul, immutable, indestructible. So the wise man always asks this question, K Ami, who am I? Nan yar. All right, there's a song, right? Nan yari, nan yari. Something, these kind of songs. That's the thing that people ask, who am I? Just give me a second. Just give me a second. All right, so who am I? That is the most important question we should ask ourselves. Who am I? What am I? Where did I come from? And where am I going? All right. So like the first, okay, now we understand. So we understand who am I? That means I have taken a human form of life. So in the human form of life, what is the facilities? All right. Just example, say like when you talk about government officers like prime minister or these any officers, when they travel, they got a police, they will be like pushing everybody aside, and they go in the middle with a siren and everything, because the more facility given to the government officer, because he has a discharge more important duties. Because he got important duties, he is known as very important person, VIP. Right? So similarly, these kind of what they call the facilities that given to the human being. So similarly, human being is given more facility to discharge the higher duty. You got it? Human beings given more facilities to discharge higher duties. When you see the cat, dogs, and all these kind of animals, they don't have any higher duties. But for a human, we have a facility for higher possibilities. What is the example? All right. Now, okay. Now, for example, okay, where is it? Okay. All right. So, what is that higher duties? That means we are not merely a person of simply working, studying hard, getting a degree, going to work day and night, 2 shift, 3 shift, make tons of money and build huge houses, having a lavish, opulent life. All right. That is what sometimes we think that is the goal of life. But we have something beyond that. Right? Beyond that goal. Okay. We study this as we go on. Right? Now, so now let's look at the next one. 239. Esha te bihita sankhe buddhir yoge tvi imang shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandang prahasyasi. So now Lord Krishna says, he said, thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. All right. So that means until verse 38, we will learn about analytical or scientific studies. Now he says, now listen, as I explain in the terms of working without fruitive result. So step 1, how we can do it? That means working without fruitive result. Fruitive result means what? I just simply perform my duty and don't expect any result from it. All right. Oh, son of Prata, when you act in such knowledge, you can be free yourself from the bondage of work. Every one of us in this modern world, we are all stuck with the bondage of work until we neglect the family, neglect every beautiful things in life. All right? Because the men and the women are very busy doing this, doing that, and come with a brief period of time at night. They spend time together, and Saturday, Sunday, brief time, and that's it. But we are beyond all these kind of things. The real life indication happened during the COVID pandemic when the whole world was shut down. All right. That's when they start to see high abusive, high fight, high, the quarrel in the house, because the man and the women never stay together to understand each other. When they are put 24/7, just like, there's there's some TV show also, right? Like, but Big Boss or something like that. When they all are put in one place, at one moment they start to show their true color. And of course, there are a lot of mysticism. So now he says, okay. So he says, now what happened if we work according to our according to what they call without fruitive result, without any expectation, perform your duty perfectly. All right. So this act can free yourself from bondage of work. When we are all bonded by work, we are all suffering terribly in this material world. Right. So now let's look at 40. And after that, you may say, how can that be? All right. Without expecting any work, what is the advantage? So Krishna continues, Neha Bikramo na shosti pratyavayo na vidyate sva alpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. He says, in this endeavor of what? Working without expectation, there's no loss or diminution. And little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. When you look at in our normal modern life, it can protect you from the most dangerous type of fear, the fear of lot of things, frustration, depression, all this. But in spirituality, also it saves you. Okay, what is the dangerous type of fear? We will go on as we study the Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, like for instance, now what is the fact of life? In this life, you can be a graduate. The material qualification does not continue in your next life. You have to start from zero. In this life, you can be a graduate, PhD or whatever. But in next life, you have to start ABC again. You cannot be, say, former life, I was this thing. And now I'm going to continue. No, it doesn't work that way. So you have to start all over again. But when you look at this life, when you perform this kind of sadhana, this kind of spiritual activity, what are you going to do? You're simply going to bring it to the next life and continue where you stopped. All right? So the spiritual qualification continue in the next life from where it is left. So now what does it mean by most dangerous type of fear? The most dangerous type of fear, you know what? To fall down into animal kingdom. To miss this human form of life. Okay? To miss this human form of life and accidentally fall down into that animal kingdom, and that's it. It's going to take a huge process of purification until you come back to that human form of life. Just imagine, being an animal is not a joke. They're always in anxiety. Just like a rat. Always look left, look right, run into that hole. Then come out, look left. No, they're always in great anxiety and great fear and great stress. It's a horrible thing. Right? So all this we'll discuss as we go. So what does it mean? When we start to practice that, what we're going to do now, that means practice this bhakti. I mean, this according to what Krishna says, there's no loss or diminution. You're not going to lose it. All right? Maybe in this life you can, but next life you have to start all over again. But when we start to practice this devotional service according to what Krishna recommended, in this life where you stop, next life you're going to continue. That means, in other words, next life guaranteed a human birth. All right, something like that. Okay. All right, let's look at 246. Then he says, Yavan artha yuddha apane sarvata sampluto dake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. What does that mean? So now Krishna is explaining, all purpose served by a small well. That means this is a small well. What is the purpose? What the purpose we can get from the small well? Water, bathing, drinking, washing, and all this can be also served by a great reservoir of water. What you find in the small well, it also can be found in a great reservoir. All right. So now Krishna says, similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas. What is the purpose of the Vedas? What you're supposed to understand in the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. All right. So similarly, all the purpose of the Vedas can be served to one who knows. That means the person who knows the purpose behind the Vedas, he could serve the purpose. In other words, if not, the Vedas are so huge and vast. All right. So anyway, I don't want to go into that detail because that's going to be our future discussion also. Now, similarly, the person who knows, that means like a spiritual master and all these things, that means they know the purpose of the Vedas, they also can can deliver the purpose behind it. Are you following me on this? I hope I'm not confusing anyone. Do you got it? Okay. Yes. All right. Great. There's another message as well. Yes, Prabhu. Okay, great. All right. Okay. Now we understand from here. Okay. So what is the purpose of the Vedas? It's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 15.15. What he says? Vedescha sarve aham. Aham means me. Eva vedyo. He says, by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Okay. There's another message. Okay, Vrinda Priya. Okay, now let's look at 247. Karmani ve karmanyeva dikaraste mam paleshu kadachana ma karma palahe turbur ma te sangos karmani. 247. In this 247, what Krishna says? He says, you have right to perform your prescribed duty. What is a prescribed duty means? The duty that is given to you. That's a prescription. All right. You have right to perform your prescribed duty. Okay. But, another thing. But you are not entitled to the fruits of action. So you have right to perform your duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. What does that mean? We work so hard, but somebody else can take the name and go. You are working in a project, right? You are working in a project. But end of the day, the project head, the person, the manager will get the name and fame. He didn't do anything. He just leveraged, you do, take everything and show. Wow, such a great manager. So you are not entitled for the fruits of action. If you really look at it. Right? So Krishna says, you are not, you have right. You have a right. That means you have a duty to perform your prescribed job. But you're not entitled to the fruits of action. Then Krishna says, never consider yourself the cause of the result. Whenever, don't think that you are the cause of the result of your activity, right? And never be attached to not doing your duty. So what is number one? So number one is, you have to do your duty, and you're not entitled to the fruits. All right? Never consider yourself the cause of the result. Don't think that you are the cause. Whether it's success or failure, don't think you are the cause of your activity. At the same time, never be attached. That if you think, oh, I am not the cause, I rather don't do it. You say, no. Never be attached to not doing your duty. You must do your duty. Right? So this is a kind of really a fantastic what they call stress reliever. Okay. So for instance, when we start to have expectation, right, you can ask employer, what kind of stuff do you like to take? Right. So that means, in other words, the secret of success in any chosen field that you are in, when you simply perform your duty dutifully within that stipulated time, when you are given 8 hours, do your best in that 8 hours, you will be very successful. Whether there's a success or no success, don't expect any result. I am doing my job. All right? Whether the job is a success or whether it's a failure, it's not within in my power. So when you can have that kind of mindset mentality, imagine the amount of peace of mind that you're going to achieve in your life. As we get older, 40 and above, that's when the reality starts to kick in. The frustration starts to kick in. The tantrum, the children turning teenager, that's when the parents start to go through. Not only the stress with the family, stress with the spouse, stress with the job, stress with the environment, stress with the politics. And now the new stress start to arise. The stress with the children. So when all these kind of things start to happen, a person basically go crazy. Right? Now, the psychiatric institution in Malaysia, it's no longer, and now they're working on, it's no longer going to be a hospital. The psychiatric hospital is not going to be a hospital anymore. It's going to be an institution. Why institution? Because they have a different allocation, fund allocation. Because now they see the depression, the psychiatric condition cases are increasing tremendously. It is increasing tremendously. Now they're thinking of being a building, not hotel or not hospital, complex in Tanjung Rambutan, Ipoh. They want to build a complex because the psychiatric cases are increasing tremendously. The depression, frustration, anger, all these things are going crazy. People are basically going mad because of their identification, expectation, lamentation. They have to take some kind of medicine so that they just can forget about it. Right? So once that psychiatric hospital in Malaysia is turned into institution, they're going to have a big fund and they got a big land and they're going to build a big place. You know, my wife is a chief psychiatric pharmacist there. And sometimes she used to share, you know, we have a discussion. She used to say, you know, how terrible young boy, you know, like recently there's a young boy was watching some kind of video, went and killed the girl. The young children are running on a motorbike like a crazy, you know, they don't care. If they met an accident, they can get killed instead because they want an adrenaline rush, adrenaline push. You know, things are going havoc. And when you look at the suicidal, like the day one boy, I mean, not the day, 1 month or 2 months ago, he just came. He said, why? Why you want to jump? No lah, saya tak boleh tahan lah. Saya tak boleh tahan. Boleh tahan lah. Ayo, mahnya susah. Pop, he jumped down. Why? Nobody. Then they check, he got a psychiatric condition. So things are going. So when we can start to live without expectation, my dear Prabhus and mothers, you will never believe the amount of success. Even to be successful is an expectation. Don't think of anything. Just perform your duty. And you will do your job perfectly. Trust me. All right. So we discuss this as we go on because it's quite a long chapter. I got another few more verses to finish. Then after that, what Krishna says, right? So you perform your duty and this thing. Then he said what? Durena hyavaram karma. Buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Buddhau sharanam anvicha krippana palahetava. So now the word that we should mark here is durena. Durena means what? Far away. In Tamil we call duram. Havaram karma. All the abominable activities. Karma means activity. We must understand karma means activity. All right. So what is activity? They call that karma. It's not that karma action reaction. Okay, karma means activity. So durena. Throw away all, far away. What? Avaram karma. That means all unwanted activities. And use your buddhi yoga. All right. Then use your intelligence. Yoga means what? Yoga means it's not a stretching exercise. Stretch your hand, stretch your leg. Yoga means linking. Right? I link with someone. Right? When I link myself as an agent, insurance agent, with that agency, I'm an insurance agent. All right? That means I'm an agent. That means I'm linking with someone. So when you link yourself with God, it is called yoga. So yoga means what? Linking with God. Not stretching your hand, stretching your leg and do your exercise. That is part of that. The yoga, but the real meaning of yoga means linking oneself. So what Krishna says, Buddhi yoga, link your intelligence to him. Dhananjaya, Krishna, Arjuna got another name called Dhananjaya. Buddha sharanam anvicha. Surrender your intelligence and sharanam. If not, you will krippana. Krippana means what? Miser. Krippana means miser. You will be a miser. When? When you have pala hetava. Pala means what? Palangal. In Tamil, palan. Na senja enna palan? Na seyradhukku enna palan kadikkudu. Palan means fruitive result, expectation. So what Krishna says here, very nice. Oh, Dhananjaya. Keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. So when you start to perform devotional, you keep away all that nonsense, unwanted, rubbish far away. Once in that purification, in that consciousness, in that once you're all clear, in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Surrender yourself unto the Lord. Then he says, those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work, they are misers. They are sure to suffer horribly. All right. Okay. Now, the next one. All right. So now let's look at this quick this thing. Result of fruitive activities versus Buddhi Yoga or in Krishna consciousness. Okay. Now, Fruitive activity, that means work with expectation, lose and diminution of the result, loss. Somehow or other, you lose it. Incur sin, does not get rid of good and bad reaction. No guarantee of human life next birth. No intelligence is not fixed. No peace and no happiness. Result in entanglement. Entanglement means what? Stuck. All right? Entangle want to work. That means the person will stuck to the work. Entangle. But when you start to work in Krishna consciousness or Buddhi Yoga, using an intelligent link with God, there's no loss or diminution. In verse 40. Does not incur sin. Verse 38. Get rid of good and bad reaction. Okay, all the good and bad reaction, all the karma, all these things, aprarabdha karma, prarabdha kutta. There's 3 types of karma. You could get rid of it. What he says? Good and bad reaction. Hey, I want good reaction. Yes, the good reaction will also come out with bad reaction. Suddenly I get a good reaction. I go and buy, I go and tekan, KTM, Kotot, Kuda, Toto Magnum, Mapu. Palm, strike big money. Good. But after that, the reaction, bad reaction, you'll be afraid, it's going to create a lot of anxiety. When you lose the money, finish. People go crazy. And then one is sure to born as a human being, either in the family of cultured Brahmana or rich. Okay? Okay, intelligence is fixed and resolute. Intelligence is fixed and resolute. Result in peace and happiness. Result in liberation. Free one from the bondage of work. This is when you start to use our Buddhi Yoga. Okay. Now let's look at 54. Verse 54. Arjuna vacha sita pranyasya ka abhasha samadhi tasya keshava stitadi kim prabhasheta kim ashita vrajeta kim. All right. Now Arjuna is asking a question. All right. What he says makes sense. But now, oh Krishna, what are the symptoms? It's very important. Bhagavad Gita is a scientific book. It is not a sentimental book. Because here Arjuna is asking for a symptom. Tell me symptom. Symptom is tell me the evidence. I want evidence of one's consciousness, of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence. So consciousness merged in transcendence means what? The consciousness has been purified. All right. How does he speak? How does he speak? When the person with a purified mind. What is language? How does he sit and how does he walk? All right. So that's the explanation. So the question is from 56 to 57, Krishna is explaining. Okay. Implies how the intelligence and words respond to the affection, anger, and neutrality. So the answer is the person who are, how do they, okay, for instance, the first question is the symptoms of consciousness merge into, how does he speak? All right. So that means this person will be always equipoised. Equipoised means what? He's always in the middle. He's not affected by happiness nor distress. Whenever he's happy, he doesn't show. Whenever he's distressed, it doesn't show. Text 56. Free from attachment, fear, and anger. These people are free from attachment, free from fear, and free from anger. Do you know something? If you have only have freedom from fear and anger, or at least freedom from fear, your life is beautiful. Your life is fantastic. Because every one of us, mostly, they are all having some kind of fear. All right? The fear that comes through attachment. If the attachment doesn't work, it turns into anger. Anyway, we go there. Unaffected by good and evil. These people is not affected by good and evil. And firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. All right? Now, the next one is, how does he sit? How does he sit? 58, 59. All right? This implies how he restrains his senses and mentality. How these people control their senses and mentality. The answer is, he uses his sense only for Krishna's service or in devotional service. Based on higher taste. He can control his senses. The analogy is like tortoise and devotee. Implies to keep senses always in the service of the Lord. That means, see, when you look at the tortoise, whenever he needs, he just pull back his limb inside. He only utilize when it's required. All right? And service in the Lord and withdraw the senses when it's not required. Okay? Now, how does he walk? Implies, how does he engage his senses? The answer is, while engaging senses, he does with regulation and religious principle. That means, when he start to engage himself, he do it with regulation and religious process. how do we overcome fear? Is it through devotional service? Yes, definitely. Through the devotional service, through Buddhi Yoga. All right. When we start to engage our intelligence, Vrinda Mataji, when we start to engage our mind, our intelligence, and everything in the service, like Durena, all here, that means when you start to engage our mind and properly in the service of the Lord, okay, in the service of the Lord, that's when we can basically come out from our fear and our attachment and anxiety and all these kind of things, you know. But the thing is, why we need to do that? Why, Lord? Why not something else? Because that's our constitutional position. What is the difference between the drop of the sea water and the ocean? What is the difference between the spark in fire and fire? Is there any difference? Both are fire. When you take the water, a drop of sea water, and put it in your hand, and the vast ocean, they are same. Both are salty. You got it, Vrinda Mataji? But now, both qualitatively same, but quantitatively different. Quality same, yes. The sea water and the ocean same. The fire and the spark, both are fire, same. But the quality, you cannot take the whole quality huge. The fire is huge. You cannot like touch it. But the spark is insignificant. Similarly, we are Jivatma and the Lord is Paramatma. So naturally, when the Jivatma get connected to Paramatma, it is in the original constitutional situation. So when the thing is linked in an original way of life, right? That's when the soul becomes happy and the soul will be out of fear. When you see a calf, Kannukutti, when a calf just runs to the mother, the calf will be fearless. You got it, Vrinda Mataji? Have I answered you? But of course, all this we will study as we go on, because this is only the introduction part. Vrinda Priya, do you get it?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
All
Prabhu.
right. Okay, great. Okay, now he says, okay, now.
Sorry, Prabhu, but it's not easy, isn't it? I mean, living in a material world, when as you go on doing devotional service, yeah, but it might be lessened, but the fear and it will still be there. It's not easy.
Correct. It is not easy. That's why how to do it, we will study as we go on in this.
Okay.
That's why in Bhagavad Gita gives you a step-by-step way. Step by step. It's not easy. I agree with you. Because we have our conditioning. We have a strong conditioning, and it's not easy to just like, I give up, cannot. It doesn't work that way. But that's why Krishna suggested a step-by-step practical way how to do it. It's not easy, but it is possible. In other words, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Oh, sorry. Where was I? All right. So while engaging the sense, he does regulation. That means when he engages his senses, he do it with regulation and religious principle. Okay. Now, in 72, the last verse, he says, Esha Brahmi Stita Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuyati. Stitvasyam Antakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Rachati. He says, this is the way of spiritual and godly life. Krishna ended this chapter with this statement that this is the way of spiritual and godly life. And you know what is the exciting part? Okay, this is the way of spiritual and godly life. And the exciting part is, after attaining it, which a man is not bewildered. That's when the bewilderment will not exist. All right. And the most important part, Krishna says like this, right? Is like this. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, if the person can stay like this, even at the moment of death, what happened? He can enter into the kingdom of God. That means he can go into salvation and he will never return to this place anymore. So he ends the statement with this. What does this mean? This is going to introduce to the next chapter. All right. So this is the thing that we're going to study in the chapter 18, 17, 18. This is what we're going to study, how to liberation and all these kind of things. So with that, we have already completed the summary of chapter 2. All right. So, what is next? Okay, what up? Okay. All right. So, get your Gita today. If you think you don't have a Bhagavad Gita, you can get it one, or you can also sponsor a Bhagavad Gita. All right. If you think that you want to give a Bhagavad Gita to someone, please get a Bhagavad Gita and give it to them. How the sponsorship that you want to do, you can talk to me, if at all, because now I'm looking for some sponsors. Once I get the sponsor, I can, usually what we do, we distribute 3 Bhagavad Gita for 100 ringgit. So if at all that, if you think that you want to sponsor Bhagavad Gita, you can sponsor, or try to get one Bhagavad Gita. Give Bhagavad Gita as a gift for wedding. Give Bhagavad Gita as a gift for when you go for a for any of the wedding or housewarming or whatever. Make Bhagavad Gita as a standard gift. And remember, they'll remember you. 20 years ago, I gave a Bhagavad Gita. After meeting him again, I say, hey, I think I need to get you. Hey, no, I remember. You know, for my wedding, you give me a Bhagavad Gita. Did I give you? Yeah, you give me a Bhagavad Gita. He remembers you. All the other gift like gold, diamond, watches, they will forget. But when you give a gift of Bhagavad Gita, they will remember you for life. Right? So that's the thing. So Bhagavad Gita as it is a very important book. If you don't have a copy, you can get it. Or if you know any nearest ISKCON temple, you can go and get it from them. If not, I can send it to you by courier. So the book is only 40 ringgit, but the handling charges is 10 ringgit. All right. So once I get that, if I get some donation, anybody would like to donate, maybe I can subsidize. Eventually, all these things will happen. All right. So now we open for questions. So is there any questions or any comment that you want to ask?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, from is chapter 1 and chapter 2, what is the application that we can apply in daily life from the chapter 1 and from the chapter 2?
Chapter 1 is basically a situation of how the person can be in great frustration. Okay. So Arjuna was kept in a situation where he's so frustrated with life. Okay. He's frustrated because he need to fight against his own family members. So in chapter 1, it's only a setting the scene. All right. And there you understand about what is his understanding of life, say in the sense of the cunningness and all this kind. Okay. When he studies chapter 1, that's the takeaway. In chapter 2, it is basically a summary. What is the thing that you should practice? First, they talk about karma yoga. That means action. Then after that, like for instance, when you look at chapter 3 is karma yoga. Then chapter 4, what is karma yoga means? Do your job, don't expect any result. How can I do that? Add on devotion. So it's in chapter 4, it's going to be the divine, what they call? The spiritual knowledge. I forgot the term. Chapter 4, transcendental knowledge. All right. So transcendental knowledge. Then after that, how you can apply the karma yoga, the action, that means action with transcendental knowledge. That's going to be chapter 5. Okay. Chapter 5 is what? Karma yoga. That means action in Krishna consciousness. Then after that, Krishna will be explaining on chapter 6, Dhyana yoga. So like that, we're going to go on and go on and go on. So what is the takeaway is, the main takeaway in chapter 2, Mataji, is that we are not this body, but we are a spirit soul. We exist eternally. And the way of peace of life is without any expectation. Where do we start to work without expectation? We start from our job, our karma, our activity. We do our job, we don't expect any result. But sometimes it can be very absurd thinking. How can I just go to work and don't I go to work, I work, end of the month, they don't pay me salary. Okay, no need to pay. Does it work that way? So it has a very in-depth meaning. And this is the thing that has been what they call presented by Krishna in a surface level in chapter 2. And from chapter 3 onwards, he will be taking each and every point and he'll be going deep into the matter. Okay, Mataji, Vrida Priya?
All right, Prabhu.
Have I answered you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll wait for the other chapters. Looking forward to hearing more about, Yeah.
Oh, your voice presentation means I didn't answer you, I think.
No. I mean, I do like the application for me is the important is how we can apply in the daily life, Each time, with chapter, I mean, we are supposed to read Bhagavad Gita every day. But the main, the substance, the main, that matter there is so important that we should apply. But, like sometimes I'm failed to realize that. So I need some help in that. How can I chapter 1? So what is the message given? Main message in chapter 1 and chapter 2. Yeah.
No, chapter 1 is actually chapter 1 is creating an opportunity for you to understand the Bhagavad Gita, because chapter 1 is the place where you relate your life with. When we think we are frustrated, when we think that we are going through so much of trouble, here Arjuna is going even worse.
Mm. Okay.
And what did Krishna explain? To pacify Arjuna to perform his job, the duty.
Mm.
So what he's going to say is a summary in chapter 2. And starting from chapter 3, we're going to speak about a lot of application part. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I understood.
I have so many people who have make Bhagavad Gita as a lifestyle. They make Bhagavad Gita as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So definitely you'll practice it. You'll apply it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. How we overcome fear through the devotional service? Question: what is the most auspicious time for reading Bhagavad? Very good question. Very good question, Linda from Russia. Sir, I missed yesterday's class, chapter 1. Can I get the recording? Are you in the group, Surit? Surit, are you in the WhatsApp group? So I have already shared in the group. Okay, what do? You personally send me message and I will forward to you the chapter 1.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Linda Mataji asked a fantastic question, right? She asked, what is the auspicious time to read Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita, there is no auspicious time. The time that you take the Gita and start reading, that is the auspicious time. You got it? There's nothing. Sometimes they ask this question, quite common. That is, if I am getting my monthly menses, can I read Bhagavad Gita? Yes, you can. All right? Can I do this? I give you one good example, one extreme example. But before this, I used to tell who's this person, but now I don't want to tell him because eventually you will know the person. A real life incident happened in one of the temple in India. I don't want to mention where's the locality. A devotee was canvassing to distribute Bhagavad Gita. While they are going, they go through the red light area. Red light area, the place where the prostitutes are there. Prostitute, they are canvassing. Come, hey, come on. He saw the prostitute. He felt so bad. He went and gave a Gita to that prostitute and says, you are so sinful. You are doing a terrible job. Right? And she started to say, no, but anyway, never mind. You must read the Bhagavad Gita. He said, can I read Bhagavad Gita? Yes, please. He gave a Bhagavad Gita to her and left. And you know where the prostitute read the Gita? In her room, while in the place where she do a business. Right? After she took the Gita, next day she had a menses. So during menses, they cannot do the business. So she started reading it. After that, she can't put down the book. After she's cleared, when the client comes in, she keeps the Gita there. After satisfy the client, when the client goes, immediately she just wash the hand leg and immediately take and start reading. Where? In the brothel. Then the client comes, put it, satisfy him. Then the client goes off, take and read. And after she completes the Gita, she had a huge transformation in her heart. She gave up a job, gave up all the sinful job. And today she's one of the iconic person. I don't mention because now she has become iconic. And of course, this is something, if she tells you here, it's different. But this is an example I want to give you. There's no rules and regulation in studying Bhagavad Gita because our acharyas, given the Bhagavad Gita, understanding it, that this is how the Gita is going to go to people. It can go into brothel, maybe it can be torn into pieces, maybe it can be on the ground. Doesn't matter. Keep the Gita, and there's no rules and regulation. Any given time, any given position, any given situation, please read the Bhagavad Gita. All right? Asked a fantastic question now. Thank you. Okay, is there any other question? Any other? Is it all clear? Are you excited to... Yes, Cheong Prabhu. Cheong Fuk Wing.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just now,
Yes.
one Mataji was mentioning that because the conditioning, because a person is conditioning, so it's very difficult to what do you call to do the what do you call to practice, because
Yeah.
there is certain conditioning.
Yeah.
Because I saw just now you were pushing that there was a verse 249.
Okay.
249. Because it gave me the thing. I find it very difficult also because to uncondition the conditioning situation. So it's
Uh-huh.
very difficult. We try to uncondition. But I come to this verse that he said, no, it's something like, he said, far distant from this type of action, far distant. He never asked us to uncondition, seems like, but he said, by devotional service, you far distant this thing. So the effort
Correct.
try to unconditioning is like I try many kind of thing during the posted day, those days. So I find it, I try to unravel the knots. So I end up tying another 10 knots. You know, this kind of unconditioning work. But I think the verse now you put in back the 249 is clearly asks us that
Yes.
only by devotional service we far
Correct.
distant. If we try to unconditional, we end up very difficult.
Very good. Well said, Prabhu. Because
Hare
this
Krishna.
text 249 is also one of my most favorite texts, because I also had the same question, like what you're having, how can I get rid of my conditioning, and this kind of, so that's why I say do reina, throw away everything far away through the Hyavaram karma. Very nice. So everybody please mark this verse. So later you can study this or keep it in your pocket, just write it in a small piece and always keep reminding you. Very nice, Prabhu. Very nice realization. Thank you so much. All right, there's another question here. Wonderful. Okay, thanks, Vijay Bharat. If transgender also can give Bhagavad Gita, definitely. As long they are human beings, everyone has rights to Bhagavad Gita. It doesn't matter whether you're transgender or whatever situation, right? So everybody must have a, and be very merciful by giving them Bhagavad Gita. Being born as a transgender, we don't want to go into the detail, but the Bhagavad Gita definitely can be a big help to them. Who said that? Who asked that question? Vali. Dr. Vali, right? Where's the chat? Mrs. Vali Amma. Yes. Dr. Vali, yes. Yes, Mataji. Please give it to them. Give it to anyone. And please give it to the person you think they are suffering in life, struggling in life. You want to do a favor for them. No, you cannot give money to help them. Maybe the only thing you can pray for. Sometimes they say, can you please pray for me? I'm going through so much of problem. Get a Bhagavad Gita and give it to them. Yes, this is the prayer. Read this book. Ayo, cannot. I said, it's better from doing all rituals. Just simply read the book. And you start to see the transformation start happening in their life.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Vijay Bharat.
For example, if we read the Bhagavad Gita, even though we try to take too much attempt to make a changes in our life, but as like I said yesterday, that people around us the problems. So how we because in the end because like Krishna said, the work of Maya, right?
Book of Maya.
Like Maya, right? We illusion people call Maya, right? That prevent us from reaching the God. Is it one of the reason that we still fall many times? Is it our own people surrounding us?
People surrounding you according to the mode of nature that you are creating in your mind. It doesn't happen by default. That means you have some kind of mode of, say like for instance, bird of same feather flock together, right? Bird of same feather. That means sometimes the person that we create the environment, if you really look into it in a very subtle way, that means there is some kind of similarity. That's why you ended up in that kind of environment. It doesn't happen by default. Okay. So when you talk about work of Maya, Maya is actually the superintendent. Her job is to keep you in illusion. But still, it is your decision to remain in that Maya or to come out in the Maya is according to your decision. You can decide come out of it. Okay, Vijay?
Yeah, Prabhu.
And how to do
I'm
it?
sorry.
That's what Bhagavad Gita will teach.
Okay.
The Bhagavad Gita going to teach in following chapters. I understand what you're saying. I really truly understand. But I don't want to jump the gun to tell you, to assure you, because I want you to go through this program, because eventually you'll understand that. I can tell you one incident. During the pandemic, one particular person, she went through hell of a time. Right? She had a tragic, the husband passed away. Then after the husband passed away, then the in-laws wanted to take children. She has five children, you know, and the in-laws are considered like gangsters. They want to kidnap the child. Oh my God, she went through such a horrible time. You know, when she go on reading Bhagavad Gita, she start to keep faith in Bhagavad Gita. She start to understand. When she go on, it just, in other words, she became invisible in their eyes. A lot of miracles happen, I'm telling you. You will get your answer as we go on. Don't worry. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Yes. Then another, how do some people have the direct experience of the soul or Atma? How does it feel like? How can you have a direct experience with soul and Atma? There's no such thing, direct experience, soul and Atma, because you are the direct experience. You are the soul, you are the Atma, and you are having a direct experience. That means you are come to the level of realizing yourself. It's a self-realization. You start to understand your constitutional position. All right? Your constitutional position. That means you start to understanding yourself, your relationship. You cannot have this kind of feeling, oh, I've got a direct experience. I mean, this is like, I'm start to have a direct experience with me. It doesn't make sense, correct? How can I have a direct experience with me? I am the experience and I am the person. That means I am direct experience. That means it doesn't make sense. So this kind of direct experience, that means if at all what you say is correct, Roja Mataji, that means the person, when they start to have that kind of feeling, they should go to the next level. Chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita, we will study that. What happens when the person can go into that kind of direct experience, so-called direct experience? Okay. They just, it doesn't work that way, because I'm talking all by the evidence of Bhagavad Gita, and I'm giving you Sanskrit and word by word translation, so you yourself can figure out the meaning. Okay, Mataji, you got it? Okay. So, direct experience, something like, okay. Any other questions? Oh, it's already 9:11. Right? Okay, I hope that you all enjoyed the session today. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, tomorrow the session is not going to be this long, because it's not a long chapter. We meet again tomorrow at 7:15. Till then, have a beautiful day. Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paritanam pavinibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Please do me a favor. Please share your experience or your realization or your takeaway or how you feel. Are you feel excited about this program? Please share it in the group. When you start to share this kind of excitement, those who didn't come for the group, I mean, those who didn't come for today's live session, they may be thinking, oh, I should not miss tomorrow's session. Or number two, at least your little takeaway, your testimony can make them, yes, I want to watch the video. So they will watch the video. All right. So they won't miss, there'll be no gap in their 18 days journey. Till then, have a beautiful day and good night. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, thank you very much.